Did you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him tell all they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him tell all they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody spread the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights. As long I'm
Eden in the life.
Bonjour Sanbonani, welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Nompumelelo Rial Konene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on emotional intelligence and mental health. In Calgary, Alberta, here in Canada, we have Tonya Craig. And in the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini, we have Symphony, aka Zanele Tele. And in Florida, we have Clara Brown. So at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Tonya.
Hello, yes, coming live from Calgary, which we are just coming out of winter. I love how you sent me that message this morning, Rial. And I'm really grateful to be a part of this because you are bringing some wonderful tidbits to people around the world to help with mental health, especially in the middle of this pandemic. So I am a relationship therapist, speaker, and coach, and I have a private practice here in Calgary, which I see people in person and online. My focus is all about relationship. And number one, the relationship with yourself. So whether it's couples, business, or just you, I really help you to deep dive into what our topic is today, emotions and relationship with you. So thanks for having me.
Wow. You can go ahead, Symphony. Yes, go ahead, Symphony. You are muted. I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I think it should be good now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm so honored to be here. My name is Symphony, as I've been introduced. I am a singer-songwriter from the Kingdom of Eswatini, Africa, Southern Africa. So I'm so happy to be here, and I'm really thrilled. So I'm going to be talking about just a bit on mental health. I'll just say a bit what I know. I'm not like a professional when it comes to these things. So on anxiety and depression, and also a bit on self-awareness. I'll talk also from experience and how I've overcome some of these challenges, especially, you know, going through this very hard time right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a great time with you and everyone that is tuning in. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Go ahead, Clara.
Hi, everybody. It's really good to be with Nompumelelo and all these wonderful people who are giving this presentation, and thanks for inviting me. So I am in this sunny Florida, and Tanya was saying, and this cold, and I'm seeing that we are going to this hot and muggy weather. So wherever you're complaining about the cold, we cannot complain about the hot and muggy weathers. So we want to just go that direction. So maybe we can switch, the more comfortable place to be. And really, and what I want to talk about it and how we are really stops us in life, in mental health, and anything what we do is how we're relating to situation, how we are see ourselves in that situation, and how we're relating and how do we reacting to it. Just like, it's simple, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too good, it's too bad. So we have constant complaint about, what's really happening around us. So I'm really teaching people. I'm a therapist for 20 years and also in the mindset and success coach, which I combine it together to really help women. I work most of the women to shifting them where they at, where they want to go. And my teaching base is to creating more love, confidence, and implementing and taking those steps to creating the life what they absolutely love. So I'm here to sharing and how is a reaction, the mind is reacting to avoiding pain or moving towards pleasure in life. So thank you for having me, and I'm really grateful to sharing some tools with you that would make a difference in your life.
Wow. Thank you so much, Clara. Tanya, I have a question for you. I know, that beautiful city of Calgary. If you happen to have your own billboard in that busy street, I can see that driving down the highway of Calgary. What will your billboard say?
It would say, it's okay to not be okay. And I get that's a little bit of a hype thing going on right now in social media, but it is critical. It is critical for us, especially as women, to be able to start to recognize that we don't have to have a strong face. We don't have to pretend that everything is fine. We don't have to do it all on our own. And I get that there is men and people transitioning that can relate with this, but the big piece that I want to talk to is the conditioning that women in particular over the decades and generations have actually bought into. And it is this place of putting other people's needs first, putting on a strong face, being fine. And it's okay to not be okay. You're beautiful, you're lovable in the middle of your mess.
Wow, I love that. It's okay not to be okay. How about you, Symphony? I can see your billboard coming up, or maybe it's already there. I don't know. What will your billboard say in that busy street of Mbabane?
Wow. It would say, you're doing great. Keep going. You're doing great. Keep going. I feel like most of the time we are hard on ourselves, just ourselves, before anyone else says something to you. And that is not healthy at all. It doesn't help us to be more productive or anything like that. So someone, I need to hear that, every now and then, because I'm one of those, who can be really hard on self and stuff like that. So I think I would like the billboard to say, hey, you're doing okay, keep going.
Wow. I love that. How about you, Clara? Your billboard is coming up down there in Florida. What will your billboard say?
I don't think so. I just want to piggyback, and everybody said. And when I work with women, my billboard said is that how you can reclaim your power and choosing you. And what is that be like for you? You know, we're talking about it, and many of us, it's strong. We want to conquer the world. We're not vulnerable. We are really strong women. But reclaiming power, the power what I'm talking about, the feminine power, when we can be vulnerable and we can show up our vulnerability and showing when we are not okay. And at the same time, being authentic about that, rather than covering up and with all of the action and all of the things when we want to achieve in life, but how we can step into our feminine power that really the world needs us, not just the strong women, but the women, the feminines who move, who create, who connect and who loves and make a difference in the world.
I love that. I love that. So I believe my billboard will be the fourth one. If you are driving down the highway, it's going to be the fourth one. Tonya, Symphony, Clara, and my billboard. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. So our first speaker for today is going to be Tonya Craig. Tonya Craig is a relationship therapist, coach, and speaker. She specializes in helping people connect in the middle of the messy, awkward moments to create deeper and more meaningful relationships through artful simplicity. Her club is a place to find you amidst of all the noise beyond societal constraints. And this club helps real individuals who are on the journey of self-discovery, facing changes that need to happen or have happened and aren't quite clear as to their next steps, providing clarity, tools, and perspective shift to capitalize on their personal growth. So kings and queens, help me to welcome Tonya Craig.
Right. Thank you so much. I love when you were talking about the club, you were very careful as to what language you were using, because it is, I will not swear, but we purposely chose a title for this club, and it rhymes with duck, starts with an F, and the second word is fine. So the concept is like, stop being fine, right? So anyway, this club is new. I'm the co-founder with my wife, and what it's done is really push me into that billboard of, you know, this place of it's okay to not be okay. Because let's time travel to 2010, where I was living the $1 million life. I was married to a dude. I had 2 beautiful kids, and we were living in Texas, pool in the backyard. Everything was amazing. I was an Ironman athlete, president as a PTA. I was putting home-baked cookies and muffins on my neighbor's doorstep before they even remembered it was their birthday. I was ahead and on top and achieving like no other person could. Until I realized I wasn't a part of that formula. I wasn't even aware of who I was, how I was being. I was so busy running from my feelings, running from my emotions and my anxiety, that I was just focused on what am I doing and how am I being, and hustling for my worthiness. And I got to this place that I woke up and I was completely flat. And I didn't know who I was. I was bulimic for 25 years, binging and purging to try and get away from emotion. Of course, I didn't know that at the time, right? I thought that I was trying to be apart, be with people, belong. But really what I was doing was hustling and ignoring the really important information system that is in all of us, and that's my emotions. So I started this training to become a counselor, and little did I know that I would face myself big time, all the way to the point that I ended up finding my authentic self, finding a voice, and actually getting in relationship with me, my emotions, and valuing my emotions. I am now happily married to a woman. Little did I know, My little 11-year-old liked chicks, but because I was fine, I was the good girl, I married a dude. It is amazing what happens in our lives when we actually ignore our gut, our heart, our senses. When we ignore the information system of our emotions, we end up choosing things based on fear or based on compliance, whatever it is, that's maybe and probably not attuned to who we are. And in that place, we just continually make up for what we believe is wrong with us, right? So for me, I didn't believe that I was good enough. That still haunts me at times, absolutely. Like today, I was like, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And emotions, it's so big. And in 10 minutes, how am I going to teach this? What I've learned the most is just be me. And so here I am. And I can help you with 3 steps to be able to actually listen to your emotions and to be able to take the power back. I love how Clara was saying that. You know, us women to step into our empowerment, it's about listening to our inner voice. And beyond spirituality, it's about getting still and feeling those sensations that are happening. Like right now, as you're listening, hopefully something pinged in my story that all of the YouTube viewers, as you watch this for years to come, you'd be like, oh my God, I can relate with that. Yeah, I'm a hustler. And maybe there is that little angst in there when you heard that and you recognize for yourself that maybe you're a hustler too. So the first thing is to recognize that sensation. Was it a squeeze? Was it a disappearance? Was it a pop into your head and start getting busy? But if we can just slow down and recognize the sensations that happen when we have reaction to the outside world. Like yesterday on the phone, I was hearing Rael's children in the background, and I had this pang of warmth for her. And the pang was empathy for her with her kids. And I was like, oh, drawn. But it was also to my daughter who's just moved out and how much I miss her. And so I took that pang, I listened to it, and then I did the second part and I asked myself, what do I need? What is being called for with this emotion? And it was to connect with her. Albeit she's 19 years old and she doesn't really find me all that cool right now. So I get one-word answers. Most important though, is that I am connecting with my emotions to be able to ask myself, what do I need? Because bottom line, our emotions are just an information system. They come with these incredible sensations that we get stimulus from the outside, our environment. All of a sudden we'll have a reaction. It stays in the limbic part of our brain, really, primitive part. And we start to create motion right away. We start to react. We start to move and shift to be safe. But the thing is, we don't have to be on alert to that degree anymore. We just need to slow it down, listen to what was that little instinct, like maybe you heard your kid scream or your husband or your wife all of a sudden react in anger. And all of a sudden your shoulders are up around your ears. That is an automatic reaction. You have a choice there. Feel the reaction, breathe into the sensation to give yourself space to be with it. Science shows that it takes about 5 deep belly breaths to be able to bring that equilibrium back into your mind, to allow yourself to check it out and see, am I actually safe? This is all automatic. But your part is to breathe and allow the sensation to be there. And once you do that, you have choice. You can either react and be on hyper alert, waiting for the next shoe to fall, or you can just be like, oh, I wonder what their problem is. So from that place of recognizing your emotion, allowing yourself space by breathing. This isn't about moving the emotion away. With my clients all the time, when I invite them to breathe, they're like, am I supposed to shift it now? And I'm like, no. You don't want to shift your emotion. You just want to be with your emotion, because that place of being with your emotion, that's the third step, is you ask yourself, what is being called for? What do you need? In sadness, in yearning, in anxiety, right? They often come with like heaviness for sadness. Yearning can be a little bit of a mixed like heaviness or energy. Anxiety is almost always energy or squeezy in your body. In those places, there's a need. There's a need that you need to meet. Maybe it's you need to use your voice. Maybe you need to connect with someone. 9 times out of 10, when I dive deep with my clients and find out what is being called for with sadness, anxiety, or a yearning, it's actually connection. And then the other place that a lot of people get to is anger, frustration. And in that place, when you allow yourself space and you ask for what is needed or what is being called for, again, 9 times out of 10, it's a boundary. So either a boundary needs to be set or held, but you're not going to know it until you slow things down, you allow yourself to be with your emotion, breathe, and then check around. Like, adult yourself for a little bit. Be kind to yourself and ask, what do I need? Very simple concepts, and it does take practice. So I invite you, as you listen to the other speakers, just to notice when you connect with their story, or maybe they say something that triggers you because it's an area that you just don't want to face. And I get that, but breathe. When you notice the sensation, breathe into it, and then just be curious. What's being called for there? Women, y'all in particular, please ask yourself what you need, because your needs matter. Thank you.
Wow, Tanya, thank you so much for sharing such a timely message. And this is the most needed message, honestly. You've mentioned something about your daughter that, gone are those days when you used to connect with her, but now she can only respond with just one sentence and then she's done. So I think I should just enjoy my young ones as young as they are, because soon they'll be gone. Thank you so much, Tanya. You've mentioned that emotions are our superpower, and this is really profound. And you've also mentioned that we need to create meaningful connections everywhere that we go, and it's much needed. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much for your message. So our next speaker is going to be Symphony. Symphony is a Swazi-born urban soul artist raised by godly ethics in Mbabane, Eswatini, where her love for music began and grew. Her sound is neo-soul, but she also do other genres, especially gospel. Symphony is also a brand whose main objective is to empower, encourage, and build other people, especially young women, using her soulful sounds, beauty tips and makeup, fashion tips and style. It's been tried and tested that if you look good, one usually feels good. And if you feel good, you are sure to do good. The message in her music is that of courage, empowerment, and basically putting people into remembrance of who they are. She believes that that's the greatest gift that anyone out there could ever get. Symphony is the soundtrack of her beliefs and faith, and that's why she writes her own songs. Wow. Even though she draws inspiration from international artists, she keeps her sound original. And this is why some of her songs are in Siswati. Siswati is the language of Eswatini. She believes in celebrating her own language and African heritage. So, kings and queens, help me to welcome Symphony.
Thank you so much. As I was listening to you, I was like, oh my gosh, is she talking about me? But thank you so much once again, for this, opportunity. And Tanya, amazing. Thank you so much. One thing that I got from, as you were talking is to listen to yourself. How are you feeling? Just pause, breathe, listen to yourself. And I really loved that, and I'm going to take it with me from this discussion. As I have been introduced, I am a musician, and we all know everyone's facing it. This pandemic just, hit everybody in the baddest way. We were all never ready for this, but it happened, and all our plans had to change. And I mean, all of them, if not most of them. And we had to change the way that we're living and all of that. I'm an international musician, so I do travel not only just in Africa, but also, outside Africa. And I was looking to come to Canada actually, but then, things happened, and I'm coming. I'm coming. So all those things, a person had plans, and, just gaining momentum and just moving upwards and higher, and things just hit. And everything stopped literally, and everyone was just affected in one way or the other, but I was really affected. So without knowing that I'll ever need therapy, I had to go through therapy because I was not okay. I was not doing okay at all. I just put a pause on my music and just thought, what, I'm the one that's important here. I know I have a service or something to deliver, but I come first. And if I'm not okay, I can't deliver. So that's where the listening to myself came in. And I thought, I need to pause and just take a break. Apparently, I am what they call a late bloomer. So what happens is I experience something and I don't really feel the pain until later. I don't get affected until later. And it's like, when they ask you, are you okay? You're like, sure, I'm fine. But when, time goes by, you realize, actually, I'm not okay. I'm really not. So these things, when they came on and piled on each other, I really hit like the rock bottom in terms of emotional, and I got, depressed, and I had lots of anxiety. This is actually the first time ever I've spoken about this like publicly and stuff. Only my family knows about it. So, so yeah, it was tough. I'm talking about last year, say July, August, all the way through to the festive season. So I wasn't doing okay at all. But the good thing is I got a lot of support from my family and my church as well. I know some people don't agree with two therapists at the same time. I actually needed two. So I had one that I was seeing, face to face, and another session I would have virtually. It was crazy. And I mean, crazy. And I grew up in a home where we don't really do therapy. We don't really, it's a thing, it's just a thing, and we don't do it. If you're not okay, you're not okay. You're gonna tell your mom, whatever, or pray about it, and it'll be okay. But this time I knew I needed to talk to some people, and I got help. It got to a point where it was bad. I was not able to sleep for like a week. I had to be sedated, and there were doctors that came to attend to me and stuff like that. I was just so shocked at what I was going through. I was like, what the heck is going on with me? I lost a lot of weight. So much was going through my head. I didn't think that I was going to see my next birthday. I thought, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna die. I think I will. It was really, really bad. So, but as I started talking to my therapists, both of them, I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna see both. Right now, I need help. So I would have the sessions, you know, every week, every other day, and it helped me. But there's so much that I got from it. I had never been, you know, I'm an artist and I get, you know, stage fright, but you get used to it. But the kind of anxiety this thing, you know, put me through, I couldn't, I can't even explain to what, you know, you can say it feels like or whatever. So it was not a good thing, and it was affecting my family as well. Because I'm the strong one in my family, I never really show my emotion when it comes, you know, to being sad and all those things. I'm always the one that's telling people to be strong. They can do it. They can, you know, when you're the one that's always doing that, and now you're the one that's sitting down, it's like, oh my gosh. So it was that of a situation. But I had to, one of my therapists told me, you know what, you need to stop, because just going through a moment of shock. That Symphony, you can't fall apart. You can't go through this. This is not you. You've never been in this position. And if you have been close to it, you've always known how to pick yourself up. This is not you. You need to get up. You need. So that was me all the time. And for some reason, she was able to trace that and say, I know that you're feeling like this, but right now, just see yourself as a young girl. In fact, just strip off this symphony thing and just look at yourself the way that you are as a little kid, and nurse yourself, like be a child to yourself. And so I had to learn how to do that, because I had never, you know, done that. So I'm not even gonna use the whole terminology like you ladies, because this is not my field. I'm just, you know, talking about my experience. And if it helps someone, it will help someone, especially, you know, those that will view this later. So also, I think the reason why I decided to, it's just I think a coincidence, because Bumi doesn't know about this. So when she said she would love to have me as a speaker, I was like, you know what? Maybe we can do this and then talk about this a bit, because people look at you, you know, on social media or wherever, your appearances, and they think everything is okay. And not every time. It's not all the time that everything is, you got it all together. That is why when we're doing, you know, the whole billboard thing, I was like, you know what? I would say mine should be, you're doing okay. I think that thing means so much to me. I really value those words right now. So yeah, one of the things that, you know, I had to learn is, first of all, I had to understand myself. Most of the time, we think we know ourselves, and not really. We don't. We don't take time to you know, do a bit of self-introspection and just reflect, you know, and think, what am I like? Why do I react like this when people talk to me like that? What triggers me in this way and that way? Why do I respond that way when such and such happen? And I feel that's one of the things that I've had to learn, to really learn more about myself, more than just, you know, the obvious things and stuff, but to just understand my character, my feelings, especially understand my feelings and my desires and all those things. I realized that it's actually a form of self-love, that is actually loving yourself. And it's something that has helped me to know what I'm good at, or what I do really well, and what I need to improve on. And it has also strengthened my relationships with people. I'm a performer, so I have to, you know, relate with people a lot. And so it's helped me a lot to just understand myself. And I believe that if you don't take time to do that, you can't, you know, relate well with people. You will usually, you know, face difficulties in maintaining healthy relationships, not just creating them, but maintaining them. So that's really, really important. So that's what I've learned in my journey of all this, you know. I'm actually thinking of being some kind of advocate, you know, it's just speaking on mental health. I think it's something that we something that we really overlook, and we always check, you know, how healthy we are in terms of, you know, physical health and financial health, you know, but mentally, are we okay? And the truth is, most of the time, we're surviving, we're not living. You know, I know that Tanya talked about, you know, when she had a good life going on, she had this and that going on and all those things. But you know, there comes a time when it's like, I know it's all good, but there's a space somewhere in me that's just this hole that just needs to be filled. And it can be many things for many people. So yeah, so like I said, I'd go through these anxiety attacks and all those things, and really be nervous to the point where I can't sleep and stuff like that. It was just a lot that was going on, but these are the two things that got me going. Every time when I woke up, I would just feel like, oh my gosh, my mind automatically thinks of anything that is going wrong. Like every time I get up, my mind just thinks of all the things that are going wrong. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to fix that. I need to fix that. And that would set the tone for my day. And that was not okay for me. And that's how I would find myself a little, you know, depressed or unhappy or sad, because that's how I chose to start my day. And that was not okay. And so one of my therapists was like, you know what, when you wake up, try to think of the things that are actually going right in your life, and just try to think of those things, and that count them, and like, oh, that is actually going okay, and that is going okay, that is going okay, and I'm alive, I'm here, I am breathing. That's another good thing. And that would set the tone for my day. It would just help me, you know, go through my day. And slowly but surely, because I was on medication as well for just helping my mind to rest, slowly but surely, I didn't need that. You know, I went through it, of course, you know, the whole cause, and I slowly but surely I became okay, and all those things. That thing of actually thinking what is going right in my life helps me a lot. And another thing is, I realized that I would overanalyze how I feel. You know, like I'd be like, oh my gosh, I feel bad, or I feel something that is not good. I would try to understand, because I don't know, I feel like there's such a thin line between trying to understand how you feel in a good way and trying to understand how you feel in a bad way. And I think I did the other way, which is like the bad way. And so, and then my therapist was on some, stop over analyzing how you're feeling. Just go about your day and stop trying to think, oh my gosh, I think I feel like this, because you're going to feel like that. And that's going to set the tone for your day, and you're going to be sad the whole day, and you won't be productive and all those things. So I started telling that to myself. So every time I found myself overthinking, I'd be like, no, I'm choosing not to overthink. I'm choosing not to overanalyze how I'm feeling. In fact, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go about my day. And before I knew it, it came out of my system. Like I stopped doing it. Of course, it was hard. I had to practice how to do that. You don't just do it once and then you can do it every other day. So it was all those things. And then besides, you know, going through the whole being depressed thing and everything just being on pause, I had a lot of time in my hands, because everything got locked down and everything, and we couldn't see everyone and stuff like that. So I had a lot of time in my hands. And so I was introduced to a day plan. So I had to think how to plan my day, wake up and plan my day. And it was divided into, say, 5 parts. There was spirituality and positive thinking, physical exercise, emotions, and career-wise. So for each one of those, I had to think what I'm gonna do for each. So spirituality, because I'm Christian and I love Jesus. So for me, that helped. Praying helped me a lot. That sorted out my spiritual side a lot. That really helped me a lot. And then on the positive thinking, I had to write down a lot of affirmations for myself. It was really tough, you have to think of positive things at a time where you're thinking a lot of negative thoughts. So I had to write those down and say them to myself in the mirror every day, even when I didn't feel like. It really, really helped a lot. And then jog, do some, on the physical side, take a walk, just take a walk or run or something like that. It was I found it to be really refreshing, even though I'm not really an outdoorsy person. I know it doesn't make sense for an artist who travels a lot, but yeah, I had to do that. And then career-wise, I had the time to plan what I want to do after this, and I got to plan and plan and plan. I had to focus on me and not care about what is expected of me by people, and take care of myself, because that's what matters the most. So I didn't stop with therapy because I thought it really, really helps me to just go through stuff. Because what happened was, this wasn't really the only thing. A whole lot of things started just, unveiling just how my life has been since I was a child, and just how I, handle things, and just understanding myself. So every time I feel like I need a session, I go for one, because I feel like I don't know why people think you have to go when you're not okay. You can always go even when you're okay, just to check with yourself, just to check with yourself, and just revisit some things that you need to visit. So I think that's where I'm gonna end for now, and I hope that this is going to help someone. I do believe that it's possible to overcome depression and anxiety, and it doesn't choose. You just feel sad one day. You don't know what happened. Even if you're like the most happy person, it just happens. Things happen, but you just need to know that with the support that you need, you can just overcome these things. It doesn't matter how great you are or how small you are. But it's possible. You don't need to go through the thing alone. There's no need for that. There's always people that can help. And people shouldn't feel ashamed of it. It's just like any other condition that can be fixed. So yeah, thank you very much.
Wow, Symphony. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for really sharing your personal struggles with mental illness. Look at you. I mean, like, you are an inspiration to many girls out there. You are, like, right now, since you've spoken, I believe that this message is going to change someone's life out there. Thank you so much, Symphony, for shining your light with us today and with the audience today. And I believe that someone has learned something from your experience. And of course, go ahead, be the advocate for mental health, because I believe mental health has been ignored somehow, more especially the stigma around it. So if you can be an advocate, I believe that this world can be a better place. Thank you, Symphony.
Thank you so much.
So our next speaker is gonna be Clara Brown. Clara is a certified life coach, as well as a certified marriage and family therapist. She is passionate about empowering women Her experience includes 20 years of professional training, her own challenges, mistakes, and failures, and being a student of many extraordinary successful mentors and spiritual teachers, including Dalai Lama. She provides a customized, highly effective, and unique approach, which is a mixture of therapy and coaching. She incorporates emotional intelligence as a base for transformation. What she does is to empower women to ignite self-love, unleash their untapped potential, and experience unabashed success in every area of their life. Her why is, as a young woman, she learned to be good, please others, and care for others more than herself. Wow, wow. It never felt like she was good enough. She was enough, I mean. So now all women can break free and step into their greatness. So kings and queens, help me to welcome Clara Brown.
Thank you. That was a really incredible introduction. You just really said everything. Do I have to say anything more? Maybe not. And really, I'm following these awesome speakers. And thank you, Tanya, and thank you, Sophie, and really who you are and what you bring it into the world. And so, as most of you experience, and who we are today, because we came from somewhere when life was not the way who we are today. And really that experience has brought us to learning and growing, to sharing, what we learned. And for women or who, like Sanya, who is singing to the world, this is just so cool, really. So back in time, I came to the state, and in 1980, as a single mom with a 7-year-old daughter, 2 suitcases, and a lack of English. Actually, I did not speak English at all. And I came to the state to explore a new life. So speed up a little bit the time. Life wasn't cake, it wasn't easy. And dealing with all the pain, the constant challenges, learning, assimilating into a new culture, it's really caused me to looking at who I am and learning about myself. But who I came to the state as a 27-year-old daughter could not do than to really creating a life where I absolutely love. So I put myself into a lot of personal and training. And also, and 10 years later, I enrolled in the university and having my master's degree in contemplative psychotherapy. I went to school because I was obsessed to how the human mind works, not just me, not just discovering and who I was. I have to tell you, I was depressed, I was anxious. I had a lot of trauma from violence, for abuse, everything what you can't even imagine growing up. And that's really left me. There was a time for me when actually I just never, ever felt okay. And that's pain that was inside of me was a driving force, one of the driving force to move me, moving forward and find my way and to grow and creating a life. The another part, again, the first was the pain. The second one is there was a desire, because in life, in 2 things is pose us: the pain what we experience, and the desire. The pain is pushing us. The desire is pulling us to moving forward. And my desire was my deep love for my daughter, because I want to have for her a beautiful and a better life that I had growing up in Hungary. So and today I live with my love of my life, and I'm married for 20 years, and I own 2 successful businesses, and they didn't come without going through all the challenges. They didn't come and someone just lended to me. This is why I'm so passionate about to helping women to creating the life what they absolutely love, no matter what are the circumstances in the present or what they've had in the past. You can create that beautiful life no matter what's happened to you. And that's what I'm teaching. And that's what I, to incorporate in my therapy, the 20 years of experience. I had a lot of training in therapy and trained in different methods, body-centered therapy, mindfulness meditation, all the things that I could just grab to help my clients. And also what recently in the last few years, and actually been certified to be a life coach, so I can combine this unique way of helping and moving women where they at and where they want to go. So today, as I said, emotional intelligence is my base of my therapy and my coaching with my coaching clients. Today, I want to talk about the pain and the pleasure principles. Everything what we do in life, because we either avoiding pain or the moving to pleasure. And if you just stops for a second and what is in your life that you want to change, and something stops you, or you want to do something and you're not doing it. So if you continue to do some pattern or behavior, what you don't like because you link to more pain, stopping it, then continuing it. If there is something you want to do and you really, really, really want to do, because you are linked to more pain to doing it than not doing it. So let me share with you a little example, and I gave you some tools to actually what I was sharing is you can relate to it and you can using in your life. I want to share with you 4 tools that I'm using this principle, the pain and the pleasure. So the first thing is asking women, what stops you to not taking an action, what you really want to do? And what stops us, as most of us know, and most of us are dealing with, or internal conversation or belief system, is our identity, what we created ourselves, this image, what we think who we are. And this belief system has been there for a long time because this happened from past experience, thoughts and feelings. And that time when something happened to us and we created, and Tanya was beautifully say that, and I'm experiencing, I think so many of us experience, we are not good enough. We're not worth it. We sometimes feel incapable. Sometimes, I'm experiencing, or I'm working with other people and they say, I have to be perfect to accomplish something. So these are the belief system is developed from this past experience. There's something happened, we had thoughts and feelings, but today it's become reality and we don't even recognize that. And we living our life, this is who I am. You know, someone who is shy, someone who is, and tell them, you know, I can't do this, I'm not that. We all have that. So the first things and the first tools, what I want to offer you, and when I'm working with women, is to look at what is your current belief system about yourself? What do you do? And how do you experience yourself? And that's a pain. And so shifting the pain and moving towards pleasure is to rewrite your story. And when you rewrite your story, you change your life. It's magical. You see, what we are, rather than stop the pain, we actually create more pleasure in our life that helps us to moving our direction where we want to go, or stops us what something doesn't work for us anymore. So the next steps is to looking at where is your focus when you want to do something, where you are, look at your life and you want to do something. Are your focus is on something what you don't want to do, something it doesn't work for your life, something that it's you struggle with, but where you focus on what you really want to create. So when we're focusing on something what we really want, energy goes there, emotional goes there. And this emotion and this energy actually push us or pulls us what we want to create in life. And the third one, when we really want to know, so again, I changed my story. I know what I want. I know what I want to create. And now, I'm focusing on the direction where I want to go. So my next question, why do you want to do that? What is your why? What is your driving force? What is your hunger to reaching your goal? Whether you go to a therapy, whether, to want to and moving forward and changing, and creating the life that you absolutely want, we want to know why you do that. As you remember, I told my story. What was my why? My love for my daughter. I want to have a beautiful life. I want to have a better life. And this love was my why. This was my emotion. This was my drive to going through all the difficult times and challenges. You remember that most of you, and with therapists, and most of you experience when we are doing something, obstacle shows up, and all the things what we might forget, or something what we are we don't even remember, it shows up. So going through, and this is most of the time shows up as a fear, and we don't take action. And don't forget, and taking an action and going to beyond. I'm gonna take this off because my my glasses is falling off on my face. I'm sorry. So so the fear always shows up when we're doing something new. But what helps us going through the fear is our commitment or determination. I want that. I want to be at the best version of myself. I want to have a life where I always dream about that. And so we can deal with the fear. We can go beyond the fear. And when we do that, we become more confident. Confidence is nothing else but courage, being courageous, taking these uncomfortable actions, even when it's so terrified. I don't know about you, being in, you know, and last year and all of you talking about and COVID and, you know, changing and what we've been doing and doing different things. I was terrified. I remember, you know, being on online and you know, on live is like, oh my gosh, what I'm saying, I don't say it right. This event. So we all have this fear. And before it would stop me, but I had a desire. I'm doing this because I want to make a difference in women's life. And I want women to have the life they absolutely want and absolutely desire. So what I'm really, and when I'm working with people, is to creating more pleasure, more higher emotions. So that's when they help them to moving. And of course, you know, as a therapist, we're not ignoring. And so I just want to say that, you know, that we're not ignoring what's really happening there. We're not discarding it. We're not stepping over. It is actually present and we embrace that. But we do not have to be there. We can change it. We can move forward. So that was the third steps. And the fourth one is I'm asking people to make the most important decision in their life. You want to know what is the most decision what you need to do for yourself? To commit it, to declare, I do live a happy and a beautiful life. No matter what is my circumstances, no matter what was my past, but this is my commitment to myself. It is easy. It's not easy. But if we committed to our own happiness, own fulfillment, our own joy and excitement, the world needs us. And the only way we can really be there for others and to teach them to love and being happy when we are happy. So we have to do the work for ourselves. So I want to recap a little bit, the 4 steps to actually changing your story, what you believe who you are and what you want to be and what you want to create in life. The second one, where is your focus in the past or the future? Focus on what you really want rather than what you don't want. The third one, to create the why, that something is pulls you moving towards and all the obstacles, because obstacles is always shows up. I don't know about you. I never did anything where I was like sailing on, you know, and I'm gonna get there. No, things shows up. And the fourth one, to be and make commitment to yourself and being happy. I want to tell you just 2 little things, 2 tools that you can really use in very simple. Okay, how you can, I'm teaching a lot of different tools and daily and routines and creating this beautiful state, beautiful mind. But 2 things I want to offer you. The first things is celebrate yourself, every little things what you do. Don't forget that. We celebrate when a lot of things happen. And I have a little, you know, tools. Is lift your right hand, pull your head forward, pat your back and say, I am awesome. And that's the way we are connecting who we are. And we have to do quite often. And also don't forget to smile. You know, when you smile, you cannot be depressed. You cannot be, you know, angry. So these 2 little tools, don't forget. And if you're practicing, I assert that you will change and you will change your way, how you are doing things, and you will reach your goal, what you desire. So that's in short. And thank you for sharing this, because I'm also passionate about to really helping women reclaim their power and create the life that they absolutely want.
Wow, wow, Clara. Thank you so much for such a timely message. You know, now I believe you. I believe you. When I was talking to you like a few weeks ago, you were like, only 10 minutes? And yeah, 10 minutes is not your time. 10 minutes is not your time. You just need the whole day to be talking about your topic. And thank you so much for sharing the pain and pleasure principle. You've mentioned that everything we do in life is because we're either avoiding pain or moving towards pleasure. And it's so true. It's so true. And I think you've also quoted Tony Robbins' quote that says, where focus goes, energy flows. Where we put our mind, that's what we will reap at the end. So thank you so much, Clara. Thank you so much for such a timely message.
Thank you.
So to all viewers online, please feel free if you have any questions for any of the speakers today, just post in the chat box and then we're going to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast. And yeah, I'm going to be the next speaker for today before we wrap up everything. So here's my bio. I speak.
Non-Pumelelo Rial Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown International speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Rial is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Rial's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Rial Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst, and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Rial Kunene!
Wow, well, enough about me. But before I continue, I just want to double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you with a raise of hand can say that I have dreams, I have goals that I want to achieve in the next 5 or 6 months? So I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because everyone can suffer from mental health illness at any point in life. But the stigma of the belief that you can improve your situation can be very, very harmful. The stigma and misunderstanding on mental illness in society, it discourages individuals to seek help and receive treatment. So I want to encourage you today, if you're watching this message today and you're undergoing that mental illness, I just want to encourage you that don't let stigma create self-doubt and shame, but instead find purpose and meaning in your life. Like Tanya mentioned, that emotions are our superpower. So stigma doesn't come just from others. Sometimes you may mistakenly believe that your condition is a sign of personal weakness. Michelle Obama once said that, I want to encourage you today that whosoever is dealing with mental health issues, that they are not alone. And getting support is not a sign of weakness, but it is a sign of strength. So no matter how much time you devote on how to improve your mental or emotional health, reaching out is not a sign of weakness. So reach out to your loved ones, reach out to friends and family if you experience some mental illness challenges. It's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know Clara, she has been practicing my name for like a month now, and she has mastered it. So Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of success. So now you can tell that I am really, really challenged to chase after success and be a change in my loved ones, in my community, everywhere that I go. Because you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you'll have to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say that you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to become great in life. So I believe that all of us in the mental health community, we need to raise our voices against stigma associated to mental illnesses, which in turn can help reduce self-stigma someone with a mental illness. New developments are being made in mental health and mental health treatments. And I think that stigma training needs to be an ongoing thing instead of like being a one-time thing. And it likely has to address all stigmas at once. Every day, in every possible way, we need to stand up against stigma. More importantly, understanding mental illness paves the way for evidence-based therapies and treatment options. Like today, we have Clara, we also have Tanya, who are therapists in this industry. So I believe that this is a wake-up call today, good people. This is a wake-up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please, don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I'll wake up in the next 2 minutes. I'll wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and maintain a solid mental health? I believe that everyone of us here, we have a son or daughter or niece or nephew who is still at school. Because I believe that schools are a great place for our kids to learn about mental well-being. So building protective factors such as self-esteem, stress management skills, and feelings of mastery, teachers can work to promote awareness with their students. Encouraging students to take advantages of opportunities like this at school can help improve the overall mental health issues. To be most effective, promoting positive mental health, including bullying prevention and intervention policies, can be part of a whole school approach, providing education to children, youth, as well as their families. I remember it was Trent Shelton who once said, my mental health is a priority over any friendship or any relationship. I will lose anyone and anything before I lose my mind. So this message, honestly, it stirred something within me. And it's so funny, when I was in the 8th grade, I'll just cut this story short. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. You know, it's so funny, that English teacher really, she didn't know that that nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. It also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who doesn't know the phoenix bird is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity of vision and success. So I want to encourage you today that when your worlds come crashing down, wear your scars and show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die first, burn, and experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please, please write this down. Maintain a solid mental health. Maintain a solid mental health. Whether you're struggling emotionally or you know someone who is, educate yourself about mental illness, including substance use disorders, As flight attendants always say that put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others. Because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. So today it's high time you know the facts and educate yourself. Knowledge is one of the best ways to combat stigma. So take every opportunity to get educated or share your personal struggles with mental illness, like Symphony mentioned her experience on personal struggles with mental illness. Focus on the positive. What I'm trying to say by this, I mean that owning your life and refusing to allow others to dictate how you view yourself. You are the one who feels the pain. So go for it and succeed. Chase after making a difference within you, with your mental health, because when the COVID happened, really, it affected everyone amongst us. It's either it affected you personally or in a business way, but it affected almost everyone. So mental health is only part of everyone's bigger picture. So fight stigma by choosing to live an empowered life. Like my everyday book, it says that casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. He really does care for you. You cannot change the fact that you have a mental illness. Remember that emotional health conditions are treatable. So there is no need for you to struggle in silence. Don't let the stigma of being labeled with a mental illness prevent you from seeking help. And you may ask me why. I'm glad you've asked that, because at any time in life, trying to pretend that it doesn't exist within you, it's only draining you from your valuable energy. It was Clara who said that everything we do in life is because we are either avoiding pain or moving towards pleasure. So we need to speak out against stigma. A huge part of our recovery is coming to grips with who we are. So don't isolate yourself, but instead consider expressing your opinions. Reach out to people you trust for the compassion, support, and understanding you need. I so wish that we can tell ourselves today that, you know what, since all the speakers have shared the nuggets on emotional intelligence and mental health, I'll have to make a difference. I'll have to make a difference within me. It starts with me. I'll have to make a difference to those around me, to those who look at me as an inspiration. But in order for you to make that difference, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, honestly, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes this way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant by the jungle or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. Lunch to that lion. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see that lion, I'll have to run. So I believe that's the mindset that we need in order for us to maintain our solid mental health, in order for us to increase our emotional intelligence. That's the mindset that we need. Please write this down in closing, write this down. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what dreams you have for your future. But here's one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. And those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters. And some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you're designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you realize that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And he also continued that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the dreams, all the visions, all the goals, all the talents, all the skills have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me, listening to this message, it gave me sleepless nights. And I am really, really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights book before you. This is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant, good people, to have a positive mindset, more especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. So this book has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And you can get this book for a family member or your loved one who just need that inspiration to face the world with a positive mindset. And by the way, the legend himself, Mr. Les Brown, he wrote the foreword in this book. And I am really humbled by that. And you're going to be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, emotional intelligence, mental health, and many, many more topics, including spiritual growth. I also have a free transformation guide. It's available on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. It can turn your fears into greater success, and I can assure you for that. Because, growing up, I didn't have much, but I had everything because of my mother's love. And I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Nompumelelo Riel Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you so much, amazing speakers, for being with us today. We're at the end of the podcast. So please feel free to share your final thoughts to our viewers online before we wrap up. So any speaker really can just jump in and share your final thoughts. And I'm just going to check if we have any questions being posted, and I'll come back. But any speaker right now can just jump in and share your final thoughts.
I'm going to jump in because I'm going to have to jump off. Thank you so much for including me in this, Riel. And all the viewers out there, what incredible, powerful women we have here today. And I really want you to hopefully watch this again, take notes, because the beautiful vision that these women have given to you is, and it can be an impetus, a starting point for you, if that's what you need. What I have to offer to you is that realness place. And Symphony, when you said about that place of analyzing and being stuck in your head and thinking about the feelings, and thank you so much for bringing that up, because how real that is. We stay in ourselves. On my website, I do have a free mini course about validation. Validation is given a really bad rap. This, I believe, is one of the key skills we have in our relationships. And it's why good therapists feel so good to go to, because they validate you. So I break down the concept and the science behind validation in, again, a free mini course that helps you to be able to hold space for your kids without fixing, without taking on their problems, hold space for your loved ones, your lovers, your partners, and to also self-validate so that you're really allowing yourself to fully come on board. Because like Riel was saying, this place of stigma around mental illness, it's not about mental illness per se, because we think mental illness is way out there. It's not. We all have anxiety, every single one of us. That's why we avoid our feelings. We don't have to. If you want a way to be able to connect with your person, grab that mini course. Listen to this again for everybody's incredible, inspiring stories, Clara's 4 steps, Symphony, your beautiful heart. And thank you for your courage for sharing your story. And I hope you keep getting out there on social media. Hook up with me, because I want to be your #1 supporter. And Riel, thanks for bringing this to everyone else. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. That was really, really sweet. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so honored, and I feel so privileged to have met all these wonderful women. Just amazing, just amazing. I'm just gonna say that if you're out there and you're watching, maybe you have a status, you have a name for yourself and you're afraid to get out there and, get help for yourself, and maybe you're not okay. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That what matters is you. So you need to love yourself enough to help yourself. Otherwise, thank you so much. If you want to see what I'm doing or anything like that, please check on my Instagram and Facebook at symphony_SD, symphony_SD, and we can link up and talk and just be happy. So thank you so much. Clara, what an amazing, amazing, amazing session with you. Oh my goodness, your story is so inspirational. I just can't imagine getting to a country with a child and I can't speak their language. It's just like, it's too much of a risk that only a strong person can take and stick to it. So your story was very inspirational. You're such an amazing woman. I'm so glad to have met you. Virtually, of course. Hopefully one day we'll get to see each other face to face. Nompumelelo, thank you so much for having me. I can't thank you enough. You're so wise. You're so wise. So wise. You're so rich with information. May God bless you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon.
All right, my final words. I just really want women to step into that power, that feminine power that we are, pushing it away because of your family or the circumstances or, past trauma, and we don't trust ourselves. We don't believe ourselves. We're losing our confidence. And life goes by. Life is too short being miserable, suffering, and going through pain. Every woman, every human being have a chance to create the life they absolutely want because it's there. And we have a power. We are much more than we think so who we are. Only things is our belief system or past experience and an accumulation of self-image is holding us back to moving forward. So I'm so appreciate you and Nompumelelo and you, Sophie. And did I say your name right? I hope so. Yes? I don't know. But anyway, so thank you so much for this really wonderful time. Thank you so much for allowing us to really get to know you in this setting and really speaking and making a difference in the world. And I love when you said that, like, mental health is a #1 importance in our life. And if we don't take care of it, nothing can give, nothing can offering to around us and to the world. And we all want to have big dreams. So this is my final message, is to connect to yourself, that self where is discontent, where is something is kind of feeling inside you, and and you want more, you meant to be doing more. Trust into that internal, maybe we call it a little anxiety, maybe I'm calling it, in discontentment, or maybe calling even depression. Things is not okay, what's really happening in our life. And to really, that's a call, what action we can take, taking care of our mental health. And so we can really live the life, what we really want. So you can contact me, and I have a website, and www.catalyst4bravery.com. And what I'm offering, I'm going to have a course in a couple of weeks, Reclaim Your Power, Choose You. And it's going to be announced in my Facebook group. And I offering people who would like to and to get to know what I'm doing, and 1 hour strategy sessions, which is cost about $250, but I'm offering it free. So if you're interested, you will want to find out how my methodology is going to work for you, contact me, let's connect, and I know I can help, but you have to know you are in the right place. You are to connect to the right therapist or coach. So thank you, all of you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Clara. Thank you so much, Symphony, for being with us today. Really, when I'm checking the messages on YouTube, wow, it's mind blowing. Many individuals have been really moved from our conversation today. And Philangezwi Matei is saying that this was very helpful. Thank you for sharing your story, Symphony. A ball of inspiration indeed. And she's also commenting that we can create a beautiful life no matter what happens to you. And Christina is saying that this was really amazing. All the speakers with their nuggets have really inspired me. Philangezwi once again is saying that, wow, this has been so wonderful and enlightening. So Philangezwi is asking, when are you hosting this again? Philangezwi, if you're watching this, usually every Wednesdays and Fridays we're here. So please do join us next week at the same time and same place. And Dolly Dixon is saying that hello everyone. So I believe she has just joined. So she's going to be able to watch the replay. Otherwise, today's podcast have really moved individuals out there. And thank you so much, amazing speakers. Thank you. So to our viewers online, thank you so much for joining us today at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. So I hope you've been inspired, motivated, and ready to rise to greater heights. Join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody spread the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest. And shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights. As long as I'm